Hey, what is up YouTube? thyAshes here bringing you another video. Today we're going to be taking a look at the 2.4 competitive beta patch notes and kind of breaking down what's new, what's changed, and why I like or dislike some of the changes. So without further ado, let's go ahead and switch over and show you guys what we're talking about. So this is on the Gears of War forums, and it basically describes what we're going to be looking at. So they're going to be combining 2.2 and 2.3 movement changes with the current Gnasher, which is what they're thinking is going to be the I guess the accurate representation of how they think the game should be played. And they also want to move on to how the Lancer operates and then secondary weapons on top of that. So the reason this is because the secondary weapons currently are super strong, but it's because of the speed of the players, right? So you want to be able to balance the game. If a player can move super fast and get to you, close that gap between two people and be able to get in like the shotgun chunk range super quickly, you need to make sure that the secondary weapons are strong enough to be able to handle that. So it makes the secondary weapons almost come across as OP. For example, the Hammer Burst, the Retro Lancer, the Marksa are all super strong secondary weapons when maybe realistically they shouldn't be as strong as they are. At least that is a common opinion. So they removed the close. Okay, so that just sums up everything. Let's go ahead and look at what specifically they did. So the Lancer itself, they increased the damage by 2%. So that's a pretty good chunk of damage. I know 2% doesn't sound a lot, but it'll definitely matter as you're spraying somebody with the Lancer and you're hitting your shots. And then this is the part that a lot of people weren't aware of. The Lancer close range in all other game modes other than 2.4, at least as far as I'm aware, there's a damage drop off, right? So as the person you're shooting gets closer to you, the damage slowly reduces, which kind of helps balance you being able to just sit back and Lancer the whole time, making the shotgun obsolete. At least I think that's what the idea was. But they like removed that reduction, right? So that 5% reduction as somebody gets closer to you and you're lancering them is no longer there, which means the Lancer is going to be a lot stronger. It means there's going to be no damage fall off. It means there's going to be less times where you're lancering someone and they should go down, but you can't believe they survived and they get the chunk on you because they're running at you in chunk range. That's gone. So that's going to really affect those players that just run straight at you. I'm not going to call out anybody. The Gnasher, they're going to use the 2.0 damage over distance curve. So that means they're going to use the curve that was shown in that video for the 2.0 competitive beta. And then the Gnasher Gib range is now 240. It was 265. And I'm not sure if this is the same or different. I believe it looks like it is the same as 2.3. So the current 2.3 chunk range is the same, and so is the melee range. They like to keep those two the same. So basically, if you're close enough to melee somebody with the shotgun, you're close enough to chunk them. And then the movement, this is the big part that a lot of people are maybe concerned about, but this is where a lot of the different changes in balancing the game come down to. There is no longer a wall bounce cooldown, and I don't remember which patch it was that they completely removed the wall bounce cooldown. I think it was 2.2. But it could have been 2.1. Either way, it is no longer in 2.4. There's no wall bounce cooldown. You can spam it as much as you want. There is two different slip distances though. So slip distances are the distance that it takes for you to slide into cover. The short slip distance is reduced by 75%. So if I'm reading that correctly, that makes that super short. And then they also reduce the speed at which you slide into cover by 9%. So for those of you who haven't paid attention to it, sliding into cover is faster movement than actually roadie running, just by a little bit. So by slowing that down, one, it's going to change how wall bouncing works. It's going to make people easier to hit when they're spamming wall bounce, especially with this short mode. And then two, it's going to change up possibly some routes that people take going to certain spots off initials, because a lot of people will slide into covers and then up A to get the speed boost. Well, now that slide speed isn't the same, so it might make it a little bit more balanced, especially for the alternate players who have the advantage being able to just mash the button and slide as far as possible to the cover. And then the other change, they kept the health regen time is 5 seconds instead of 4 seconds. When I played 2.3, I didn't really notice that too much. If I was full red, I was full red, and the 1 extra second didn't really affect me. And I think their goal in that is to make it so that when you have to be more selective about when you push, because with this damage of the Lancer increase and the slipped wall bounce speed reduction, basically it's going to prevent the people who want to wall bounce really quickly into an area, and like, let's picture Foundation, everybody goes down those middle ramps into the open area in competitive. It's going to prevent people wall bouncing down that and going into open, because there's a better chance of 1, them getting down from the Lancer, 2, their movement's going to be slower, so it's going to be easier to hit them, and then 3, if they do get full red, they're going to be full red longer than they were before by a full second. So overall, I honestly think these could be some pretty interesting changes. I'm not sure how I feel about this short mode slip distance. I really wish they would just keep it 1 consistent slip distance. But you know, we'll have to see. So guys, if you enjoyed this video, me breaking it down, make sure you leave a thumbs up and let me know in the comments down below what you think of these patch notes. I'm going to, in the next video or a future video, I don't know how my upload order is going to be, I'm going to test it out. I'm going to play a game, commentate over it in real time, and let you guys know what I think, how it feels, stuff like that. So make sure that you subscribe down below with notifications on. The little bell takes like half a second, and so you can see when the video goes live. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next video. Go.